whatever you want to call it. Hey, Soupy's in here. Oh, wait, come to find out there's 2 Soupies in our group.
What?
Michael is the original Soupy. Just to lay that out. He's the original. But there's 2 dudes in there. The other dude's his last name's Campbell, so they call him Soupy too. Soupy as well. Oh, welcome Soupies, but Senior Soupy.
Senor Soupy.
They were on there talking about it. I was like, whoa, cool. What are the chances of that? What are the chances of 2 Soupies in our group? 2 nicknamed Soupies. One nickname has got dust all over it, though. Like, long time, since the 70s. So he's the original Soupy. I know. I'm so excited. Halfway to 1,000. We hit 515 today. So if you guys can just share this channel, get our subscriptions up, and try to get, I like James. I'm trying to do this full time. My goal is to liquidate all our assets, get our bills to just necessities, which is a house, food, and appliances and electricity stuff, and keep this internet running. And as soon as I can get the income to do this, I'm going to jump out of that job and make this my full time so I can just full time attack it all day instead of, I feel like I have 2 full-time jobs trying to, and they got us on 410. So Monday through Thursday from 4:30 to 3, I'm focused on my day job. And then the rest of the time I'm focused on this. Oh man, look at Shauna.
I don't like being tiny.
715 days.
That
is good.
Super tall.
That's very good. Good job. That's right. I'm on by age.
Now I feel like
that's a cool nickname, Soupy. I like that nickname.
I like it too.
I've had the nickname LT, T-Bone, and then my one cousin calls me Little Twat. What else? Sleepy has been a nickname, but my initials have been my name since I was little. LT. My real name's Leonard Ted, but my mom didn't like it. My dad, I guess, did. I don't know what he was thinking. But my cousins found out that my dad didn't like me being called LT, and my mom really didn't like the name Leonard. So LT, since I guess they came and wrote it on my crib. But they've been calling me LT since I was just a wee little baby. Just a wee baby. 135 days. I want a chip. Yeah, you need one. Maybe we could get some what if we got some chips made that said recovering addict, and when it was your birthday, we can mail them to you.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Maybe I could start a Patreon that's for that kind of stuff, and whoever's on a Patreon will get special things on their birthday from us. That would be cool. What do you guys think about that? So nobody's answered my question. Anything stick out about chapter 1 of the book we're going through? Or have I been up here just jibber-jabbing for no reason? Or am I behind in the comments? Congratulations. Amazing accomplishment. Yes. Good job, Merc. Or Merd. Sorry. My bad. Oh, it's a great idea, she said. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we could do that. Oh, have you guys read that thing scrolling across the screen? So 2 questions real quick. I want you guys to throw in the comments. What stood out to you about chapter 1 that you've taken with you in your sobriety? And 2, where can you find the quote in the big book for what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen? The first answer
gets a virtual high five.
It's a virtual high five and gets to watch me drink my coffee. Yep. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Made me spit out my coffee. I was so excited to see you.
Lisa in the house.
Great idea on the chips. That's my sister Lisa. Danielle. Welcome.
Hola.
And welcome to everybody hiding in the digital bushes. We see you. We know you're there, and we are glad you're here.
That reminds me, digital
because
bush
we
people.
recover better together. I found some cool stuff. I want to read some articles. We're going to get into chapter 2 of this book, and chapter 2 is working step 2. Weird, But I came across 3 articles I want to read. But of course, we have to go through our AA 24 hours a day thought for the day. And today is April 24th. It's been proved that we alcoholics can't get sober by our willpower. We failed again and again. That's true. How many times have you failed out there? I can't even count on all the fingers and toes in this house how many times I failed at getting sober off alcohol till it finally worked. Therefore, because of our failures, we must believe in a higher power, which helps me. I think of that power as the grace of God. I pray to God every morning for strength to stay sober. I know that power is there because it never fails to help me. Here's the question. Do I believe that AA works through the grace of God? Which we got? What we got? Anybody notice? Anybody answering our questions?
Corey
I
likes
like
the story about the horses.
Yeah, that's a good one. When it's so, the answer is so obviously right in front of you, you can't believe you can't see it.
Oh, hi, Andrew. Glad you joined us.
Andrew Salzer, cool. Is that Michael's?
Yeah, Michael's
Andrew?
Michael's Andrew.
Cool.
Let's see.
So I tried to name my kids where they wouldn't be called by just 2 letters, and it ended up 2 of 4 could be called by 2 letters. One would be AJ and LJ. Thank God no one has yet. How's AJ and LJ doing, Aaron? We like the book, but we are also very happy to chat with sober all in one place. Amen.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Shauna. So glad. Terry, what's up, brother?
What up?
Yep, that's true talk right
Suki
there.
said absolutely.
So, Shauna, I'm going to go back to your comment real quick. She says she likes the book, but also very happy to chat with sober people in one place. Is that an excuse because you haven't been listening to the book? Not to call you out a little bit. Did anything stand out from what I read to y'all? Tracy, I can't, but we can. God is more important part of that we. Yes, amen. I agree. Here is our meditation of the day. Once I am born of the Spirit, that is my life's breath, within me is the life of life, so that I can never perish. The life that down the ages has kept God's children through peril, adversity, and sorrow. I must never try to doubt or worry, but follow where the life of the Spirit leads. How often, when little I know it, God goes before me and prepares the way to soften a heart or to overrule a resentment. As the life of the Spirit grows, natural wants become less important. That's true. As the life of the Spirit grows, natural wants become less important. And the prayer of the day is, I pray that my life may become entered in God more than in self. I pray that my will may be directed toward doing His will. Hey, man. Luckily, my kids weren't. I actually got to go disc golfing this morning with a couple of my sober buddies from my IOP group that I went to.
There's one, Brat.
There's one. There's one.
There you, Brat.
So what is the purpose of the second step? It's a hope step. It's the second of the hope steps. Anybody work step 2 ever?
Lisa had a spiritual awakening.
Oh, yeah?
What up, Denise?
Awesome.
From Mesa.
Denise is from Mesa, is that what she said? Mesa, Arizona. What's the temperature in Mesa, Arizona right now? Probably hot.
Die Hard fan.
Yes. Thanks. I love it.
We're going tomorrow also, too.
Yeah, we're going, taking the family out.
To go play Frisbee golf.
Yes, that's the book we're going through right now, Soupy. Is that right there. We just finished chapter 1. And what stood out to me about chapter 1 is when they broke the serenity prayer down, that I have 2 choices in life. I can either put it into the accept or the change category. And I need God's wisdom to help me decide which category it goes in. Because a lot of times I can't tell. Is this something I should accept or change? Or is this something I should change or accept? And a lot of times if we're trying to change things we need to accept, we make things worse, and vice versa. That's probably what stuck out to me the most out of that chapter. I just love it when paragraphs and nuggets that you've heard, or quotes and prayers or whatever you've heard over and over, all of a sudden get broken apart and you get to see it in a new light, and a new nugget sticks out. I love it. So that's what stuck out to me in that first chapter. And then just understanding powerlessness and resentment or surrender, how the fact that we need to surrender and what it means to surrender.
Yeah, I like the surrender. What up, Carmen? Where in the world?
Carmen, Cody, 417 in the bit. Hey, whoa. Yes.
Cody wins.
That's a guy doing his
High five.
homework. That's a digital high five. Right on. So, yep, the quote rolling across. Did you Google it, Cody, before I start? Why does LT always doubt everybody in the comments? Oh, because you're addicts. That's why. Because you're just like me. That's the other reason.
Yeah.
No, thank you. But yes, good job, Cody. That is page 417. We always read 417 in that paragraph about accepting things the way that it is because that's the way God had it at that moment. But the little paragraph above that chunk says that at the bottom of the screen. And it's good. It's like chew on that one for a minute. When I stopped living in the problem and began living in the answer, the problem went away. And from that moment on, I have not had a single compulsion to drink. I like that. Anybody else feel that way?
He says he remembers it from 2 meetings ago.
Yes.
Absolutely. Another high five.
No. Way awesome.
We could do the Ninja Turtle kick fight. But there's not enough room.
You know how I told everybody to send me videos, send me pictures of anything you guys might be doing out there in quarantine? My buddy Mark sent me one. This is what they're doing. Oh, let me screen share this real quick. But he's out there at his property, and this is what they're doing.
At least I don't feel like too much of it. Well,
Okay.
actually,
You're being recorded. Stop. Whatever you're gonna say, just stop. Just don't.
just don't.
So he's out there at his property making
No,
a
you're
awesome
on.
green. Look how pretty the mountains look.
This is what we're doing during quarantine.
He's got Penny wheelbarrow and
we've
dirt.
got this whole greenhouse built out of our property.
So what do you do in
Pretty
quarantine
much,
if you're
well,
the
kinda.
youngs?
Mark has.
You build a greenhouse.
You know,
I like it.
I like it too. That's really cool. That's a
and
nice
I
greenhouse
have to
too.
Plant
Put,
some
like-
pineapples and avocados.
Ooh,
I don't know.
can you put some pineapples and
I've moved
avocados in there,
about
Mark?
14 wheelbarrows of dirt over here so far.
That's really
So
cool.
the other side, obviously. is
Another
gonna be
mark.
wet,
Is that
but
necessary? Yes.
Hopefully, I'm gonna go in and
The
make
more
dinner.
marks, the better. Mark.
And then at 8 o'clock, we're gonna go ahead and do some.
That's so true. How many marks do we need? Hey, thank you, Mark and Penny, for sending us that video of you guys out there building the greenhouse. That's cool. Good way to use your time out there in quarantine land. Love it. So we got Mark, Merk, and Mark.
Hi, Naomi.
Naomi. Is that a new one?
No. That's
Oh, I'm
just
back.
Naomi.
Just came from groceries from shopping to the. Oh, sweet.
Sweet.
How'd you fare? Did you fare okay out there in the crazy world?
I went grocery shopping too, and ain't nobody wearing their mask right. Maybe like 5 people.
I just don't even think the mask is
Did-
useful, period.
Did you see the meme about if your
We need
pants
to
can't hold in a fart? How's
Oh,
a
geez.
mask can hold in the coronavirus? I was like, that's a good point.
That's a good point. Particles are particles. That's disgusting too.
Yes, Bob would approve of that greenhouse, I think.
Yeah. Bob would approve. Dang it, where's Bob? Should have waited for Bob to jump on so we could show him. So what is the purpose of the second step? This step gives you hope that you're not alone and something higher than you can help you conquer your addiction and despair. So how do you complete this step? The second step is about keeping an open mind. This is the beginning of the end in a way. You will end your old life and you will begin your fresh one, committed to faith in whatever you choose. The second step is about keeping an open mind, as the prior step was about letting go of pride. This step is about letting go of preconceived notions about what AA is and how it works, and making room for change. You got to change in life. I mean, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you continue in your addiction and you keep plowing towards that road in that same type of thought and those same type of mind frame, and you're not willing to try a new set of thoughts and ideas, more than likely you're not going to make it. And that is one of the big points of step 2. No matter what you believe in, this step in which you became open to the idea that faith in a higher power will help you attain soundness of mind. The Alcoholic Anonymous 12-step tradition book states, that step 2 is the rallying point for us all. Whether agnostic, atheist, or former believer, we stand together on this step because we recover better together. So what are some tips for completing step 2? Keep an open mind and then set yourself up for success. Be open to the idea of looking outside yourself for help and support, and you'll be able to better conceive the idea of recovery. Maintain humility. Accept that you cannot conquer your addiction alone. You can't conquer your addiction alone. Accept that. You got to accept it. It's a fact of life. We need each other. So what are some myths about this step? That your higher power has to be God. This is a big misconception about Alcoholics Anonymous. Your higher power can be anything that you believe in. AA doesn't require you to believe in anything that you don't want to. Each step is a suggestion along the road to a sober life. And the way that I look at step 2 is it's not a theological debate, because we're not basing this on the fact if we're going to heaven or if we are going to hell. We are looking for a higher power, and I can look at Felice and can use her as my higher power because it's a power greater than myself as an alone addict. It's not a theological debate. It's not doctrine. It's not a salvation issue if you are a Christian, because I need help outside myself and I can't do it alone. And so therefore I can rely on her. I've heard other people say that AA group consciousness of when you go to AA is their higher power. And absolutely it is. It restores you to sanity. You go sit in those groups. It's a power greater than yourself. It's a room full of people who've been there through experiences that can teach you and show you how to stay clean and sober and give you the ideas and tools necessary to do so. So it's not about theology. If we want to get about theology, that's a whole nother show. And we can go there if you want. We can break down all the religions and we can go over all the history. We can, and at the end of the day, it's a theory, just like evolution is a theory. Nobody was there. Nobody was there in the beginning, So that's a whole nother thing. So step 2, you got to come at it looking at you can't do this alone and you need something outside yourself to help you. It's not, and they call it God, and God's a word used in many forms for many things, and it doesn't mean the one true God. You know what I mean? So that's where I think a lot of people get mixed up in that step. So let's not go there with that. Let's keep an open mind and understand that we alone inside of ourselves needs help outside of ourselves. And that is the higher power we're clinging to. Or like me, I chose the higher power of God, the God of the Bible, because that is the power I believe in. And that's the power I have faith that has the power to give me what I need. And so that's my higher power. And I use that for that. And so you take and run with it as you wish. So if step 2 says, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Now, here's a cool breakdown of the steps to recovery.
Penny, I feel like you can at least try.
What?
To grow pineapples and avocados.
Oh, just give it a try.
We
had a girl at work that tried to grow avocados in our office. Made the whole place stink.
Was that what made it stink?
Well, a lot of things about her made it stink, but that didn't help. Here, you play with the comments.
They just told him where to find the book.
What book?
But we'll tell everybody else where to find the book in the description. There are links to all the books we're reading.
Yep.
And many other links. So check there. And if you're on Facebook, it should just be right above the video you're watching.
92 in Mesa, Arizona.
92? Oh my gosh.
That's too hot.
That sounds nice.
If it goes over 68 degrees, I'm out. Keep me I like the temperature to be 40 to 60. I'll tolerate 60 to 68. Other than that, turn the air conditioner on. Let the car cool down before I get in it. I hate the heat. I freaking hate it.
I love sitting on the hot beach.
Well, that's different. I don't mind sitting on a hot beach.
Or on my porch when it's super duper hot. I just lay there and just sweat.
Yeah.
It's so comfy. Super duper comfy.
So the insanity of addiction. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. There are several pieces to examine in this statement. So the first part is we, and I love this saying right here. The we, and this is from Thailand Rehab. Wow. The Dara, Thailand Rehab in Thailand. Oh, that's cool.
Where is that
Yeah,
coming?
I found this article when I was searching around for stuff on step 2, because I wanted to break down to step 2, think about it a little deeper, and then we'll get into the books of what Joe McHugh is going to take us to.
PD says step 2 is the rallying point to sanity.
Yes, exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. So the insanity of addiction is we, right? We came to believe. We. What does we mean? We in this statement represents the people who recover together. Why? Because we recover better together. In organizations like Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, or even other organizations that have group therapy type of things, we don't recover alone. We have to do it together with other recovering addicts or alcoholics. Alone, we use drugs or we drink alcohol. Together, we find the freedom of recovery. The second part of the statement is came to believe. This indicates a process of coming to believe, which takes time. The definition of the word believe is to accept something as true. Your recovery is real. So there's 2 times you have to admit, right? Came to believe. Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself there. But so you come to believe. The definition of the world is to accept something as true. So the third part of the statement is that a power greater than ourselves. And this part of step 2 shows us that some power bigger than us is involved. Whether you believe in a higher power or not, there is always help you can reach out to. And the final part of the statement says could restore us to sanity. Restoration in the process of getting back what was lost. So what was lost? Think about that. And what was lost was our sanity. The sanity is the ability to think and behave in a rational manner and experience sound mental health. When we were in our addiction, we did not have rational behavior and we were not experiencing sound mental health. So to expound on that statement, you could say that it means this: together with the help of others, with the help of other recovering people, I will undergo the process of accepting the truth that other people can help me recover what was lost, which is my ability to think and behave in a rational manner and experience sound mental health. Does that make sense?
You're making Michael Teeter want coffee.
It's delicious.
And murd.
It's the weekend for me, so I'll drink coffee.
Hey, Alan.
Good evening, brothers and sober sisters. Good evening, Aaron. Or I looked over at Aaron's name. Welcome, Alan. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for showing up again.
Oh.
Yes, get you some coffee. Everybody get you some coffee. Let's relax. Let's have a good day. Let's have a good evening. Let's enjoy some fresh brewed coffee.
Mark learned how to use the emojis.
Emoji man.
You're so smart.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to go refill my cup.
Oh, sweet. Well, he's gone. I'm going to read you guys the Al-Anon step 2. Because why not? Says one definition of insanity is performing the same action again and again, each time expecting to achieve a different result. Any of us who have been affected by the family disease of alcoholism have experienced this and other forms of insanity. Living with the effects of another's alcoholism has given us a lopsided view of life. Yet, no matter how distorted our outlook or how out of control our lives seem, and regardless the impact of the alcoholic's behavior, help is available to us also. The alcoholic cannot heal our wounds, neither can our willpower, quick-wittedness, or perseverance. Turning to these sources again and again is no more useful or sane than going to a car lot to buy groceries. Having continually failed to resolve our difficulties ourselves, most of us finally realize we must look for help in a more promising place. What we seek is something greater beyond our own abilities, a source of help, comfort, guidance, and strength unrestricted by our human limitations. Our need for such assistance has become obvious, but so many of our needs have gone unsatisfied in the past that we hardly dare to hope that we might find the help we need. In the process of taking step 2, we open our hearts and minds to the possibility that such a power could actually exist in our lives. So that would be our version of step 2, looking outside of the alcoholic and ourselves to find the answers and the comfort we need. Realizing that we also need a power greater than ourselves. I like how it says outside the human abilities.
The restoration of the insanity of addiction is a process. It doesn't come overnight.
Do you have the Al-Anon book posted?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, Kat, he does.
It is posted in YouTube, and it is posted on the private Facebook group, and I believe I put it on the Recovering Addict page as well. The page and the group are different. The group you got to join. The page you can just like and follow, but I'm pretty sure I put it in there. If not, join our private Facebook group, and it's in there as well.
It's called, the one I'm reading from is called How Al-Anon Works for Families and Friends of Alcoholism.
Yeah,
It's really good, especially
that's the one.
chapter 4. I was like, whoa, this is like my life. Like all the research I did while going through everything was all in this book. I probably should have looked at 3 years ago.
Merck says you're amazing.
Ah, thanks, Mark.
No worries, Tracy. I'm glad you're here.
Tracy.
Glad you are here. We are talking about step 2. We're kind of breaking it down. What is step 2?
Ah, thanks, Polly.
Cuz. I guess say thanks, cuz.
Oh, thanks, cuz.
Yep, Tracy, we are definitely glad you're here. All right. So no doubt, when you were in your addiction, you were driven by insane behavior. Tell me you weren't. I'll call you a liar, because I know I was. When you were obsessed with drugs or alcohol, and you were driven by compulsive behavior that took you back to the pipe, the bottle, the needle, in spite the fact that it was destroying your life, you executed some irrational choices to maintain your habit. You hurt the people you loved, but most of all, you hurt yourself. And that's like when you think about being restored to sanity, think about the insanity of what we were doing. I was going to the store and buying a bottle of poison that big and chugging it as fast as I could, pretty much. I didn't, chug it like I was having a beer chugging contest, but as fast as I drank whiskey as fast as people drink beers, just, normally drink a beer. And I drank beer faster because I needed to get drunker. But that's insanity. And the money that I spent on it and the relationships that I ruined, and then just the physical health issue, and then continuing to pursue it like it was my God, is just insanity. When you first get sober, you stop drinking or using drugs. You get a few weeks of recovery under your belt, and the outward signs of your insanity stop running your life. And you believe that this means you have been restored to sanity. However, it is important to recognize that the behavior that accompanied your addiction or alcoholism was only a small piece of the puzzle when it comes to this level of insanity that you have experienced. Sure, abstinence from mood and mind-altering chemicals is the first steps, and abstinence is what I'm an advocate of, is the first step toward the restoration of sanity. But the real insanity lies in your thinking. And that's what we're getting to on this channel. And relapse prevention, that's what we have to narrow down, is on what is going on in our minds. What are we thinking about, and how are we reacting and thinking about things and situations in life? Because that is truly what's driving us in our insanity. But the real insanity lies in your thinking. The ability to think and behave in a rational manner and experience sound mental health takes a whole lot more than just quitting drugs and alcohol. And that's what I was talking about when I was in my IOP, and I realized that it's a whole lot more when you're talking about experience rational thoughts and stuff, and mental health on a healthy level is more than drugs and alcohol, because I forgot that I was there because I had to quit drinking. And then I realized, oh, wow, man, I am here to make myself a better human being for myself, just for the sanity of dealing with life on life's terms without having high blood pressure, self-induced high blood pressure and anxiety. You know, when a situation would arise and my heart would pound and I would get anxious, having the right tools and understanding these things, you're pre-prepared for those types of situations. And I talked about that in my AA group. It called me out because we didn't have very many people show up, as far as we only had 10 people in there. So everybody pretty much has to speak to make it the hour. And so hey, I'll tell you what you got to say. And so I just talked about what was on my mind. And that was, I got written up at work and I knew what I was getting called into the office for. And it wasn't a bad write-up. It wasn't, you know, I'm not going to lose my job or nothing, but it was just hey, you need to do a little better. Here's the proof that I told you. But as I was walking to the office, I was preparing my mind for the moment. And I was praying for, let me say the right things or keep my mouth shut. Let me, you know, not feel anxious. And I didn't feel anxious the whole time walking there. And when it happened, I didn't get the normal anxiety or the, you know, what we go into the defense mode. Well, you know, a bunch of excuses. I accepted the fact because I knew what was being said about me was true. And it was my bad attitude coming out of, I'm still going through post-acute withdrawal syndromes. I go to work and my mind's all foggy and I can't focus and it's hard to get back into being passionate about that place. And, you know, so I understood that to be true. I prepared my mind and my heart as I walked to the office. I engaged in a great conversation and left feeling great. I didn't have an adrenaline rush. I didn't go to the defense. I didn't have pride. I dropped my ego and I felt better. And I went through the whole experience without having that anxiety or any of that or any of those hyper emotions, right? So that got me to thinking, what if I prepared like that every day? What if I woke up every morning and I prepared for any situation that I may come across that might happen? And so from now on in the mornings, I'm going to get up with those type of thoughts on my mind and meditate as I'm rolling around in bed, waking up and, you know, right after the alarm clock goes off and, all right, prepare yourself. So anything, you know, that could happen, you're not going to freak out about. And I think it's going to work. I really do. Because I hate that feeling of an adrenaline rush and anxiety when I come to those things.
Me too. There's John.
So I come to believe in some way, I feel that there is a higher power that there is to show or help me, even though I don't know what it is. But it is there. Everybody knows God exists. You look at the stars, you look at the mountains, you look at the precise, what is that word I'm looking for? Obviously, dang it, I lost the word.
Oh, no, I lost the word.
Dang, I hate when I do that.
Not obvious.
There's that post-acute withdrawal syndrome. There's that addict brain working again.
I can't quit thinking about Penny's cheesecake.
Oh, man, more cheesecake.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, but you look around at the world and everything's too precise to not have been created by something, you know.
There's an order to it all.
There's an order. There's design, intelligent design. Nobody walked into the forest and found a stopwatch and said, this just happened, you know. And even if evolution was a thing, say that, you know, and I heard Ben Shapiro say this. He's like, you know, what if evolution, you know, just because science, you know, because the people in science look at the evidence and they say, oh, evolution. But just what if evolution was a thing, right? And if that stuff really happened, why does that deny the existence of God just because science said it happened this way? You know, God could have made it that, you know? I don't know. There's a million ways to think about things. Yes, there is.
If there's a higher power, there's a lower power.
So there's a process to this restoration. Insanity of addiction. When you first get clean and sober, you feel insane. And that's another thing I wrote down I wanted to talk about. And it kind of hits with my preparedness of the day is when you finally get clean and sober, and especially if you were like me and you've been doing it for years, you've numbed yourself emotionally. And this has to do with your good emotions as well as your bad. You know, you got tragedies and pain that you can numb. You got happy and joy that you can numb. And so when you come out of the fog, you start of addiction, you're clean and sober for a month or so, you're going to realize your emotions are like on high alert. And that can cause you to feel insane. You're on an emotional roller coaster ride. 1 minute you're up and you feel like you're on top of the world. The next minute you feel depressed and hopeless. And this is what the second step is all about. Coming to believe that a power greater than you can restore you to sanity. So trust the process. because it works. I mean, if it's a program that works if you work it.
Yes, it is. I like caffeine also. There, Aaron. Not so much the nicotine.
As long as I have something out there to believe in that I can restore me to sanity, then there's always going to be hope for me. Absolutely. In AA and that group consciousness and group therapy and I love that as my higher power as well, because that is a power greater than me outside of myself that literally helps me stay sober. And that's the power we're talking about, a power to stay sober and clean, and then to help you work through your character defects. It's making a lot of people feel insane, Catherine. A lot of people feel insane. I still feel like it would put me on the edge, and I know I'm not ready, so I'm not going to push myself just yet. You guys trying to quit smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. My uncle was
No
giving me some crap about this thing today, but I'm not worried about it yet. I will be once I decide to start worrying about it. I found another cool website. It's called addiction2.com. And it has I haven't really got into a lot of it, but I kind of want to go through it some more. But there's one on sanity. There's one on jumpstart eating patterns, physical, emotional, mental, language, disease, obsession. There's all kinds of stuff in here. And that's all about the mental one. There's spiritual, there's an awareness one, and then sanity. Is there two on sanity? They're the same. Let me see here. I just lose it. But addiction is a special kind of insanity, it says. Addiction2.com. It says the word insanity is used here in a popular, not a psychiatric sense. It follows that if you are counting on a higher power or a program to restore you to sanity, step 2, then in addition, you must have some kind of insanity. So if you're being restored to sanity, that means you were living insane. The big book on page 35 tells us of an alcoholic named Jim who had several months of sobriety when he stopped at a roadside restaurant where they also had a bar. He ordered a sandwich and a glass of milk, and he thought it couldn't possibly hurt him to drink 1 ounce of whiskey in the milk, since he would be drinking that on a full stomach. Well, whatever the precise definition of the word may be, can we call this plain insanity? How can such a lack of proportion or of the ability to think straight be called anything else? Some addicts, especially those with a history of mental illness in the family, experience fear when they think of themselves as insane. The good thing about addiction insanity is that it can easily be cured by the recovery process. Then it has faking sanity and the image management, which is kind of cool. It says many addicts are crafty and have good persuasion skills. That's true. This actually works against you in recovery, for you can act a lot saner than you actually are. You may be able to convince family, employees, counselors, or even others in the program that everything is going well. You might even fool yourself, unfortunately. But recovery usually comes only from honesty and a cooperative effect between yourself and your higher power or program and others in recovery. Quit lying to yourself, basically. You got to be honest. There's that chapter 5, how it works. And then image management. Many addicts, including most women and eating addicts, have some degree of distortion of body image. This kind of insanity improves only gradually, and you may simply have to accept that at all times. You may feel fat or ugly and accept the word of other loving people that you are great just as you are. It's true. So how does the restoration of sanity come about? And it's gradually at first. You may make the mistake in your recovery, taking control and charging off into poor judgment and only realizing afterward that you could have made better choices. Later, you may be able to catch yourself before the lapse or relapse has fully occurred. See, it's a process. It's trial and error, but stay on the path, learn the stuff, and press forward. And then reach out for help. The sooner you can recognize addictive thinking and take recovery steps, the better the course. And that's what we got to figure out. And that's the people in the comments. Holly, if you're listening, you have to see your addictive thinking, and you have to focus on the steps in recovery to fix that thinking defect. And those are called character defects. And that's why once we get through chapter 2, we are going to talk about character defects. So sanity in recovery means listening for the support from your higher power and others in recovery, being honest, and following a course of recovery development in physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects. This is the spiritual awakening that step 12 talks about. I miss anything?
There's telling Alicia she's awesome.
Alicia is awesome.
How her story was amazing.
Oh, yeah, on Lisa's channel. Takes a lot of courage to get out there. Somebody drank too much. I don't know if you're like me, Michael, but caffeine, I'm really sensitive to. During the week, I can't really have caffeine after 12 at noon because it'll keep me up all night. But it's a weekend, so I don't care.
That's why it doesn't smell like tea.
Yep, exactly.
It's funny. Speaking of insanity, do you mind if I read the Al-Anon, why we are insane and our obsession?
I don't care.
Because this is the part that really hit home. And I was like, dang, that's when I caught myself, and that's what I had to quit doing. But it says alcoholism is a family disease. Compulsive drinking affects the drinker, and it affects the drinker's relationships, friends, employment, childhood, parenthood, love affairs, marriages, all suffer from the effects of alcoholism. Those special relationships in which a person is really close to an alcoholic are affected most, and we who care are the most caught up in the behavior of another person. We react to an alcoholic's behavior, seeing that the drinking is out of hand, and we try to control it. We are ashamed of the public scenes, but try to handle it in private. It isn't long before we feel we are to blame and take on hurts, the fears, and the guilt of an alcoholic, and we too become ill. The obsession, this is what I was like, whoa. Even well-meaning people often begin to count the number of drinks another person is having. We may pour expensive liquor down drains, search the house for hidden bottles, or listen for the sound of opening cans. All our thinking becomes directed at what the alcoholic is doing or not doing and how to get the drinker to stop drinking. And it says, this is our obsession. That's what we get. And I felt myself getting obsessed. And I felt like I was going crazy.
There's co-addiction right there.
And then it talks about insanity or anxiety and anger and denial and guilt. It goes into all those.
Petey, I was just thinking about that. That's funny you say that. I'm on it. It's right here.
Welcome back, everyone. You know what it is, the motivational quote here on Recovering Addicts. Life is not measured by the breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Maya Angelou. As always, bring it up, guys. You know what to do. Let's continue to spread that love.
Thanks,
That
Cassie.
was wonderful. Thanks for the reminder, Petey. I was just thinking about it too, because I'd like to try to do it at 8:40, but then I get to rambling and blambling, and I look up and it was 8:44. I was like, oh crap. And then I let Felice read for a minute. Is insanity being crazy? No, insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over. And I don't think it's so much expecting a different result. There's really not a good definition of insanity. I was looking it up, and the definition of insanity is more of a legal term when somebody can't see the difference between reality and fantasy and commit crimes, and they can hold them accountable or not, is basically where the term for insanity is. And insanity's been said to be like, who says that? Albert Einstein. He says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But us addicts kept doing the same thing over and over, knowing exactly what the result was going to be, and then we'd get up and do it again. So there's a few ways to look at it. And insanity is not being, where did it say that? Let me find that spot again. You executed some irrational choices to maintain your habit. So let me read this again. So there's no doubt when you were in your addiction, you were driven by insane behavior. You were obsessed with drugs or alcohol, and you were driven by compulsive behavior that took you back to the pipe, the bottle, and the needle, in spite of the fact that you were destroying your life. You executed some irrational choices to maintain your habit. You hurt the people you loved, but most of all, you hurt yourself. And that's insane. I mean, we knew we were hurting ourselves and destroying our family. And a lot of us go millions of addicts go even further when they commit huge crimes and end up in prisons for a long time. And, you know, they end up homeless a lot of cases dead by doing it. That's insane. That's insanity.
Madness. But this just said, has the state of being seriously mentally ill. Madness.
Madness.
It is. It's madness. Extreme foolishness or irrationality. Now, there's lots of irrationality and insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I brought up the workouts. Has anybody done insanity, the workouts? They're pretty good.
Oh, Insanity
Hmm.
by Sean P.
Sean P.
Tybo. Who remembers Tybo?
Me and Misha tried to do Tybo, and we're like, this is weird.
Yes, you do, brother. Good night. Thank you. Glad you're sober. Good job. 24. Do another 24. And remember to prepare for tomorrow. Wake up and think about how you're going to handle the day, just one day at a time, a moment at a time, and pray, and do all that good stuff. Is tomorrow's Zoom login info the same? Yes, it's the same. I'll repost it just in case on the Facebook page. I'll throw it in the Discord, but tomorrow at 3:00 we are having Zoom that I've been talking about all week. And then tomorrow night I have a guest speaker. If you were here for my sponsor, Dell, his nephew that he talked about that lived with him for a minute, his name's Chad. He's going to be our guest speaker for tomorrow.
Woohoo!
So he'll be here giving his
Is he gonna
story
tell
of
us
years.
Chad's story finally?
What's Chad's story?
I don't know. Everybody said it was awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, he's going to tell his story of his chaos and insanity and addiction lifestyle, and then how he's been sober. I think he's over 4 or 5 years sober now, and how he got there and how good he's doing now, because he's killing it. He's killing recovery. But just like all of us, one day at a time. One day at a time. Yeah, it's insanity, bro. He still has one unopened. That's awesome.
All unopened. It's because he's so weird.
The time is 3:00, Charlene. 3:00 Mountain Standard. We are in Utah. So if you're on the West Coast, it's going to be 2:00. If you're Central, it'll be 4:00. If you're on the East Coast, it will be 5:00. We always talk in Mountain Standard Time, which is 3:00 tomorrow. And just for reference, right now it's 8:52 in Utah. Zip. Live in Boston. Where is Boston? I think that's Eastern. Well, right now it's 8:52. So do the math for tomorrow at 3. I believe that's 2 hours. I think Boston's out there 2 hours. Alexa, what time zone is Boston in?
Boston is in Eastern Daylight Time. Your time zone is 2 hours behind Boston.
Okay, you're 2 hours ahead of us. So right now it should be going on 9, 10. It should be going on 11 o'clock your time. Yep, Eastern. Okay, cool.
So 3 would be 5.
3 would be 5. Yep.
There you go.
5
Charlie.
o'clock. There you go, Petey. Thank you, Pete. Exactly. Zactamundo. Going to play disc golf tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be fun. I
Yep.
can't decide if I want to go jog before we go play or after we go play.
I think it's up to you.
I just don't want to wake up at 7. That's too early.
It is early tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get wrecked in disc golf.
Please. Son thinks he's going to beat me in disc golf. I played for my first time today. I'm pretty much a pro now.
Second time today.
He does it like a Grandma T.
Yeah, I throw like
got-
Grandma T does.
He's got the pro.
2 fingers, not 1, 2. Soupy knows. Soupy knows where Boston is. Ugh. So nobody got anything out of chapter 1, from what I heard.
I just heard surrender.
Surrender.
Surrender. Surrender.
Yeah, Chad's gonna be cool tomorrow. He's got a good story. He did drugs I didn't even think about doing.
Like bath salts.
No.
If you want to see insane, do bath salt.
Yeah, that is insanity.
That's gonna be you one day.
Better not be.
Better be on the straight and narrow.
No, I just seen a movie where a guy did bath salts, and he's seen food come to life.
Ooh.
Sounds like LSD. LSD. So don't forget, we have the private Facebook group y'all can join. We have
Ooh, let me put the
Discord
links.
if you need it, and we'll post everything in the links right now. What else do we got? You guys
We
want
got
to see the merch we got?
high hopes. We've got
Who wants to see
high
our
hopes
new merch we
we've
got
got
coming out soon?
in the sky.
Huh?
Apple pie hopes.
Maybe it's already out. Should we
I'm
not
just
show
gonna
them
do
that?
this.
Not show them the merch? Okay. Amos says not to show you the merch and let it come out just naturally.
Oh, did I finish my blade?
Sweet.
Boom. There's all of them at one time. Anybody watch Goofy movie? That's where High Hopes comes from.
Kath, all right, I'll go get it, Aaron. Hold on 2 seconds. Discord is just another, it's kind of like WhatsApp. It's another group chat. It's another platform we can all commune and talk together. It's not like Facebook where it's out there for the world to see. It's kind of like the private Facebook group, but it's just another app we can all join together and post pictures, post videos, post whatever as a group. And some people don't. And the reason I have Discord is some people don't have Facebook, so they don't follow our private Facebook group, and they get the information from
You big tease. No, you'll never know, Aaron. Close
all right,
your
I'll go get
eyes.
it. I'll be back.
There's a sticker in my slipper. Gross. Wonder who put that there. Ooh, sweet. Cat is gonna join. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. So good. So good.
Ooh, there's
Oh, yeah. You guys all check out Lisa Real Spill. She's amazing. She says Earn instead of Aaron because she's just awesome.
Bam.
There it is. The big reveal. Bum, bum, bum.
You join in the private Facebook group? Oh, yeah, she's on Facebook, so probably. Yeah, join. I'll open it right now and approve you for sure. So it says recovering addict on the front. And the cool thing is, can you see it?
Oh, what do we do? We recover better
Can you see it good?
together. Yeah.
No.
You don't like them?
Not anymore.
You're
Aaron?
crazy.
That's the name of my first single. There's a sticker in my slipper.
Want one?
No, think so.
I do not like
Aaron
pomegranates.
loves it.
Oh, pomegranates?
No, Daddy's t-shirt.
And also, a ton of people have been asking how to support the channel. And sweet, Aaron loves it. And here's a way you can if you feel led. It's up to you. There's no special hidden nothings. You just support what we do here at Recovering Addict to keep it flowing to y'all. Oh, there's an error.
Error.
Oh no. That's
Try
right
again.
there. Oh,
Oh, the
maybe I hit
Facebook.
it twice.
The Facebook aired out.
It's right there.
Sweet.
Pretty cool, huh? We'll probably have hats coming out soon. This is a recovering addict hat as well, but they won't come out like this. It'll probably just be black with this writing right there. Covering addict. Veronica.
Hi, Veronica.
Where's that recovering people?
I think they're behind in the combo right there. Hit the live button, Penny. I think you're behind. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Veronica. No, you're on the sober train. We're just showing off our new recovering addict merch. We'll tell you where you all can get it tomorrow. If you want to get it.
Tomorrow.
Now what we're going to do is get it and buy some more and produce some more and just keep rolling it out as people want it. Yeah.
My mind is a musical tonight.
Thank you.
Love the shirt, LT.
Oh, Veronica, look what it says on the back.
Yeah, you gotta check out the back. That's the best part.
Can you see it?
We recover better together. Woo, 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 woo.
12 steps of life.
Word says hi, Licky.
Through abstinence and through working on the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous, our lives have become useful. Before coming to Narcotics Anonymous, our lives were centered around using. For the most part, we had very little energy left over for jobs, relationships, or other activities. We served only our addiction. The 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous provide a simple way to turn our lives around. We start by staying clean a day at a time. When our energy is no longer channeled into our addiction, we find that we have the energy to pursue other interests as we grow in recovery. We become able to sustain healthy relationships. We become trustworthy employees. Hobbies, recreations seem more inviting. Through participation in Narcotics Anonymous, we help others. Narcotics Anonymous does not promise us that we will find good jobs, loving relationships, or a fulfilling life, but we work the 12 steps to be the best of our ability. We find that we can become the type of people who are capable of finding employment, sustaining loving relationships, and helping others. We stop serving our disease and begin serving God and others. The 12 steps are the key to the transforming our lives. Just for today, I have the wisdom to use the 12 steps in my life and the courage to grow in my recovery. I will practice my program to become a responsible, productive member of society. Yes. Link, you shaved your beard, Merc said.
They all love the shirts. Yeah, we'll let you guys know where to get one. I got to finish some things.
We'll post it on the private Facebook group. I'll throw it in the Discord for the few that use Discord. But you guys can actually get yourself one of these t-shirts. Says we recover better together on the back.
Yep.
Millie, what are you eating?
She's eating pomegranate.
Those look like pomegranate and seeds. Are you eating the seeds?
That's the part you're supposed to eat.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Gross.
They're really yummy. I think she chews them.
Hey,
I don't
Bryson,
think you're
what's up,
supposed to
bro?
chew them.
I loved your dance you posted. That was cool. Learning how to have fun. That was so cool.
Oh, and we will be mailing your check tomorrow.
Yep. In the mail mañana. We got some stamps and some envelopes. John, have a good night, bro. Thanks for good. I'm glad you got good advice out of it. Keep coming back. We'll continue through chapter 2, working step 2, and then we're going to go into character defects. I never had a problem with chapter 2 or step 2. Chapter 2, step 2. I kind of always believed in God. I was raised in a Seventh-day Adventist house, actually, and then studied that. I studied all the religions, and so now my belief is in God, just in the Bible, because of mostly archaeology. You know, there's evidence. It's not a blind faith. I don't like blind faith.
Mark said the dance vid was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude. Way awesome. Proud of you, bro. It feels so much better to be sober. And the longer you're sober, the better. I can't imagine what like Merc and those who have years of sobriety and Bob and what you guys are feeling right now with years under your belt. You're almost, do you forget what it was like to be an addict? Probably not. Probably not. But sometimes I feel like I do. And I'm only 8 months into this. So we'll see. Good night. Sleep good. I'm glad you were here. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Come
If you
again.
guys aren't on our private Facebook group, jump in there because you get to watch awesome videos like like Bryson dancing and doing his sober dance. It was cool. Jamming out to some music. It was cool. I digged it. I dug it.
Mark says, never forget.
Never forget.
There's those links again. Oh, good night, Naomi.
Good night, Naomi. Making tortillas. Is she going like this?
So you guys always are making tortillas and tacos.
What's
I
the
bet-
song?
I don't know. I bet her hands are like
Yes,
my
sir.
grandma's hands,
It is pray time.
where she can like just do it. What the heck? Anyways,
Y'all want to pray with us real quick before you bounce off? And don't forget to hit that like button on your way out, please. It doesn't mean we're getting off because we pray, but we're just
When
going
he-
to pray for those who are leaving.
when it
God,
gets-
Grant me the
The
serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.